We arrived in Madrid in the evening after our train ride from Barcelona and checked into our hostel, the Mola Suites. So this is easily the nicest hostel we've ever stayed at, and it was pretty cheap and in the center of town. And we could only book it for one night because it wasn't available the rest of the weekend. And so we're actually going to be moving hostels tomorrow, and then now we're staying another night, so we're going to have to find a third hostel for the third night of Madrid. That first night we went looking for food and stumbled upon Mercado De San Miguel, which is a giant covered market in the middle of Madrid. We looked it up later and found out that it's a very popular spot, and so we ended up going back quite a few times during the trip. While we were there, we tried some foods that we had never tried before. I had sea urchin and Megan had
oysters, and the really cool thing was you could buy like individual ones. You didn't have to buy like a plateful. Oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna embarrass myself. And I don't do it right. I just like.
Do you like it?
How is it? Really good?
It's like really creamy. It's like warm and creamy. I ended up really liking the sea urchin, and I thought it tasted like seafood mashed potatoes. I was pleasantly surprised. That night we had seafood paella for dinner before heading back to the hostel to go to bed. The next morning we woke up to this amazing hostel breakfast.
Another reason why this was one of our favorite hostels.
But I don't know what the heck Megan was eating.
It was mozzarella and eggs.
Ew. Switching hostels right now to the second one, hoping it's as nice as the first. Luckily it's only like a 7-minute walk from the first one, so we don't have to go far. And we got wristbands as our room keys. Try to open the door now. Oh, these beds are closed.
What?
Later that night, we met up with a friend from Chapman who was studying abroad, and we went to a taco shop called Takos.
It was so good. We ended up going back many times throughout the trip.
Okay, this is Rosamund right here.
What's up, guys? I'm really excited. This is my favorite taco place. Really excited to bring the homies here. Like, let's freaking go. Let's eat it.
What is this place called, Rotam?
Tacos al pastor with a K. Hell fucking yes.
What'd you get, Megan?
A mushroom taco and a vegetarian quesadilla.
Quesadilla!
Oh yeah.
Today, Megan got terrified of a guy pretending to be a statue, and he just jumped out at her and she freaked out. So she was scared to talk to this guy right now.
Scary stuff. Fun fact, the reason why the Madrid tram system is so large is because they thought that they were going to get picked for the Olympics a few years back, and they didn't.
We just took the metro a couple miles outside of Madrid because all the hostels in the city center are way too expensive this weekend, so we had to get a farther out one.
I didn't need mom's car! Vroom, vroom. Get out of the car!
Here we are at a one-star hotel, 5 miles outside the city center. Apparently it's a 3-bedroom, but it's, oh. Home sweet home. Thank you.
Smells like smoke.
Cool bed sheets though, look like macaroni. booking train tickets, always make sure you know the departing track and the departing station, because we booked it from the main Madrid station and apparently it's leaving from a different one, and they don't tell you that when you book it there. And so luckily we have the tickets, and so that gives us a free metro ride to the other train station, but if we hadn't checked an hour before, we would have missed our train.